So now that you know your spread triads from episode 1, let's try to use that and make an arrangement. So join me as I try to figure out this arrangement of Just As I Am, and I'm gonna try to use spread triads, only spread triads, as much as I can. I think there might be one note where I can't use the spread triads. But let's do a quick recap. Here are the spread triads that we're gonna use. So we're in the key of G. We've got these spread triads for G. This is for C, and this is for D. As you can see, all the root position look the same. There's your G root position, C root position, D root position. First inversions look the same, or the third on the bass. That one is your G, looks exactly like C slash E, looks exactly like D slash F sharp. And then our second inversion, or the fifth on the bass, we've got this shape. There it is, C over G, and there it is, D slash A. So it's a good idea to review that. Make sure you can play those triad shapes. So we can start with G. There you go. And then we have C. Then we got our D slash, starts with D slash F sharp, but we got our D. Oh. So you want to be able to play those shapes first, just up and down. All right, so now the next step is to go to the G major scale and learn that and play it on the G string, because the way that we're going to do this is we're going to put the melody on the G string. And we want to be able to harmonize that melody note with just the appropriate triad. So this is very simple, because for 5 of those notes, you can only use one triad. And for 2 of those notes, you can choose between 2. But you can usually tell which one to use. Let's go to the scale real quick. So we've got G. That's our first note. So here's your G major scale. And so the way that we want to try to do this is to figure out, okay, which triad has a G in it. So here are your chord spellings. So the G triad has a G in it, and the C triad has a G in it. Actually, we're going to skip this one because we can't really play any of these spread triads. Let's go to the A. So for A, which triad has an A in it? And that's your D. So it's going to be one of these, and it's right there. It's this shape. Now, next, B. The only triad that has a B in it from these 3 triads, 3 chords that we have, is G. So right here. Next, we've got C. C, obviously. C has a C triad has a C in it. Then D. So a G chord has a D in it, and a D chord obviously has a D in it. So one of those. Okay, so there's my D triad, and there's my G triad. Okay, E. Only a C triad has that. So it's this one right here. F sharp, only the D triad has that. And then G, so this is that same as the open position, or open string. But with the open string, we can't really play the other notes. So for G, you can either play a G or a C. So let's go and put both again. Just gonna name that as a G note. So we can use either a G triad, or a C. There you go. So what you want to do is to be able to play. We can just play a regular G here. This is not a spread triad, but we can use that over this if we have an open G. So you want to be able to play these triads up and down first. We got our D triad. For the B note, we have another G. For the C, we can play a C triad, spread triad. For the D, we've got two options. We got D or G. For the E note, we have C. For the F sharp, we have D. And for the G, we have two options, either a G triad or a C triad. So you want to first experiment and play those triads up and down. Start with the scale. Okay, so I would start there and just get familiar with the connection between the melody note and the triad that it comes from. For this exercise, I just want to go through this so that you can see how useful this is. Let's say you have this melody line, you have this song, so here it is, right? And so let's just kind of plug in the triads for this. So we have G, let's start with this. We've got an A, right? A right here. So that's that D spread triad. And then we have a B note. What triad is a B note? A G. So there's our G spread triad. I'm just giving you all the options. You don't have to play it like this. You can break it apart later. Right? Then we have a D. We could either use that or that one. So let's see which one sounds better. Or I kind of like that one, using a G triad in there. Okay, and then we have a C triad. And back to G. So I'm gonna speed this up and I'm just gonna finish it and then I'll come back and we'll talk about it. All right, so I'm done with this arrangement. Let's see what it sounds like. So there you go. So all I use there are spread triads. Now the way that I actually like to practice is I don't write it down like that and then practice it. I actually kind of try to play it on the spot. So what I try to do is I use my ears to figure out the melody a little bit. Right, let's take that phrase and I would go, okay. Try D. I think G is better. So what I'm doing there is I'm using my ears, I'm training my ears to find that melody. And then right when I can predict where that melody is, using my ears, and I'm like, okay, it's a B. Then I'm thinking B, okay, I need a G triad with that. Now it goes to E right here. C. C has that one. So I'm training my ears to find that melody, and as soon as I find that melody, I'm visualizing what the triad is that I'm gonna play. Okay, so let me try to play the whole song using just spread triads and kind of use my ears. So you'll see if I mess up. But also, you don't have to play the whole song like it's just, you don't have to claw the whole song like that together. You can break things apart and use different rhythms. Play some notes single, some of them as dyads, as two notes, some of them as a triad, right? Ah. I think it's better as a G. Yeah. Could do a G or a C. C is better. So that's how I would encourage you to practice this. Not only are you training your ears, but you're also training your visualization so you could see those chords, but also you're practicing your chord spellings because you're thinking, okay, A, that's from the D. I've got C, that's from the C. I've got E, that's from the C. I've got F sharp, that's from the D. Right, so there's a lot of things that need to come together in order for you to play like this. Now, my goal here is to, number one, be able to kind of improvise a simple arrangement just using this technique. But number two, even if I'm trying to arrange something that is not improvisational, right? Something that's more set. It doesn't mean that I'm going to use a spread triad for the whole song. I mean, I could do that, but maybe for a specific part of the song where, the melody is going up and down, right? More horizontally. Maybe something like that. Then I could put something that goes, I can use something like that to kind of climb up the scale or descend the scale. So anyways, try this out, experiment with it, see what you come up with. You can use this for other songs. It doesn't have to be this song. Here's one. Let's try Doxology. This one has to go onto the D string. The melody has to go on the D string, but let's see. There you go. Now spread triads. All right, so that one I just kind of improvised that and just did what I told you I was gonna do, just kind of fish out for the melody, use my ears, and then immediately visualize the triad that note is a part of. All right, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this, make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.